Alright, okay. Forget the shorts. We're just gonna be live on normal YouTube again. Alright, I am Michael. One more time. This is the third time I'm doing this damn. Okay, whatever. This is Michael. I haven't streamed for quite a while. Many years. I'm back. And I'm just gonna be using this as a means to journal my trades. Well, do a weekly recap. So it's a journal of sorts. And if you enjoy it and you like it, good for you. Don't really care. If you don't, that's fine. You don't have to. Um, if you have questions, post in the comment. Maybe I'll answer. And let's just get to it. If it helps you, you're in luck. You get helped. All right. So this is NQ. I've been trading the NQ. If you look at my last streams, that's what I trade. I have recently decided to branch into the ES. It's not up here, somehow that computer. The ES, and I will be branching into forex. I'm just creating a strategy for those. But as of now, I have created and completed for the most part my strategy for NQ. So that is what I trade. Will I give you the whole breakdown of my strategy? Impossible. I cannot. It's like a 19-page document. So no, I cannot give you the breakdown of my strategy. But I can break down my trades, and if you see something that clicks for you, good for you. All right, let's begin. So this Friday, I do have a trade. Well, we start from Monday. We're gonna be using the bar replay, and let's get to it. Okay, so bar replay, select date. No, sorry, bar replay, select bar. We're going to start from Monday. Who's calling me? Give me a second. All right, so he may call back, but whatever. All right, so this is Monday. Hmm. Let me explain what's on my chart, I guess. Ignoring most of the drawings. You know what? Let's start it from kind of hide a bunch of things. Hide all for now, right? So first we'll open the indicators. What indicators do I have on my chart? I said indicators. Why are you opening drawings? Oh, my bad. Hide drawings. We'll leave the indicators. What indicators do I have on my chart? I have volume, I have the VWAP. VWAP is anchored to the week. You can see it starts every week and ends at the end of the week. I have a couple of custom indicators I made myself. Well, to an extent, I made it myself. It's kind of like a three. I have gap. So basically, when there's a gap in price, you can see right here, this yellow candle means there's a gap, even the green candle. But anyways, there's a gap in price right here. So if you see this candle right here closed at 28,779 and then it opened at 28,780.25, right? So that is a gap of from 79 to 80.25. That is a gap of 1.25 on the 1 hour chart. That's a gap, right? And then that same candle pulled back down to the to 28,779.25, but the prior candle closed at 28,779, so it still has about 8.25, which is one tick. It needs to go down one more tick to complete that gap, but it didn't, and the candle closed without completing the gap. Hence, that candle closed as a gap candle. The same thing occurs with the green candle too, and even the red candles. So green, red, and yellow are my gaps. The green and red are kind of the same. Basically, the green and red means the gap candle closed and no, not closed. Opened with the gap, right? and then there was no, in this case, green means it went up. It gapped up and went up, right? But it opened higher and it did not even wick down. So if you look at the up here, you see the open is 679.75, 28679.75, and the low is 28679.75. So there was no wick down. Now, let me clarify that if you're a beginner, you will not understand anything. Well, most of the things I'm saying, like I'm not talking beginner, intermediate. I'm talking if you just, oh, I'm interested in trading and you just found my video, yeah, not the best place to start. However, if you've been trading for a year, maybe a couple of months, you have an idea to an extent what trading is, even traded yourself, perfect. You would get what I'm saying, and I don't have to explain myself, which I will not be doing. All right, so continuing on, like I said, we have the red, the green one, the yellow one. I'm just giving you the explanation because it's on there. What is this? This is a purple uh, icon telling me that this particular candle, which is an inside candle, I'm not going to explain what an inside candle is, figure it out yourself. This particular candle is an inside candle, and that inside candle has more volume than the prior candle. So that shouldn't happen normally, and that's the case. Whenever that's the case, that's an anomaly. Those are inefficiencies in the market. I call them inefficiencies, right? So they're all there. This is an inefficiency in the market, an inefficiency in the market, an inefficiency in the market. This is a 50-minute chart, this is a 1 hour chart. So you see all of them pop up whenever they do. You'll see a red candle somewhere, maybe up there you go, a red candle on the 50-minute chart, right? So those are my indicators. What other indicator do I have that's on? We have the volume. Volume indicator really is just telling me, so this HVC, 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 and sometimes you see this red. It's more of a personal thing. I won't give that out because it's something I made. It is not something that a lot of people use. It's something I just found that I think works, and I added that to my system, and I made my system to allow it to work. It's not something I think a lot of people use, so I won't give it to you because you may not need it. So I won't explain it to you because you may not need it. I don't want you to think that it's normal. Like this gap, these volume inefficiencies, these are things that I used. A lot of people use them without knowing what they are. A lot of people trade with them without knowing what they are, but it's used. The big money people are using them. Them banks, them hedge funds and whatnot, they're using them. All right, so these are inefficiencies in the market I use. The red one here, I'm not going to explain that because it's a personal thing that I don't think is used. Again, I'm just repeating myself. Let's move on. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Then what else is there? HVCs. So HVCs again, it's a personal thing. Let's just ignore that volume indicator. So ignoring that, what are that? So we've explained the view app sessions, basically just telling me what session. This is the New York, this is the London session, this is the New York session. Those are the need to have open, and outside of that is just Asia session, right? So all the indicators have been explained. Now drawings. Eh, eh, eh. So now drawings. Well, say it first. Oh man, I need to. Well, so much work. I need to do all this. You know, when you're broke, you don't have enough money to buy the alerts that don't expire. This is the result. I just tell you that for free. This is the result right here. Um, I have, like I said, this is not the PC I use for trading right now. So the PC I actually use for trading is connected somewhere else. So now and then this will disconnect, unfortunately. I don't know why. Anyways, I don't know why those alerts are not popping back up. How many minutes has this live gone on? I've not even given any. Well, I have given some info. I've given you the inefficiencies. I'm sure you didn't. Some of you didn't know what that was before. Um, so I'm just setting myself up. All right, that's set for next week. I don't know why it's not popped up here. I'll give you some time to save this. Now Monday, come Monday. Mondays are basically the beginning of the week for me. It kind of sets the tone for the week. These just means the low. This is the low for Monday. The week's trend starts on Monday's New York session for me. So that's why I started from 4 p.m. or I started the back test from basically the next day, which will be Tuesday. So the week strength determines the week strength determines all my trades basically for the NQ, and the week strength starts from Monday close because that's when, well, technically because that's when the week the New York session has truly formed a concrete trend. During the day on Monday, it's still forming, so we don't know what the week really wants to start doing. And during Monday, I could trade off of prior week's trend. Now let's go. What trade did I take on Monday? I took a trade actually. I took this one here. It's a double inside candle. This is an indicator. It's an inside candle. It marks out my inside candle, right? So this is an inside candle, inside candle, and so that's a double inside candle pattern at the extreme of the week, at this time, or the extreme of the month. I actually took this trade and I lost this trade. Basically here took a short saying that price would go down. Lost the trade. Kind of once I lost the trade, I went back to look and see what was an anomaly. Technically, it was Monday. It was supposed to be forming the trend for the week, and when I took the trade, it was like past 8, and there was no trend formed on the 5 minute. It was still just trading within the one candle. So I could say, okay, next time if I see this, I won't take the trade. But I just ignored it and called it a full loss, which is what it was. It is a loss. It is my loss, and it was an actual realized loss. I took the loss, so that was a loss. Let's move on. Then the same pattern formed on the 1 hour around 1 p.m. Basically, that's when the pattern formed, and by then the 5 minute had actually formed the trend. So same thing. I took the trade again on the 1 p.m. there around there. No, I actually got in. I actually got in. Oh, the same thing, I guess. Yeah, around there. And I was looking for 2 hour. I took that trade. I unfortunately did not get the full 2 hour. I got. Where did I close the trade? So we took a trade on Monday. Price does this, goes lower. So we wick this right here. We had a wick right here, and I think I took. Oh no, this trade did not. I was gonna take a trade here, but it did not fail. I think we kept on going down. That's Monday. Now we're on Tuesday. Again, we wicked right there, and there's still no trade, but there was a trade I took. Uh, no, not here. So we ended up pulling back. Was it here? Trade I took. It was the yeah. I think it was here. I took a trade. No, no, no. It was, bruh. Where was my trade? Second, I took a trade and I should have had this, but I lost it. I lost that, and it was very sad. Took a trade long somewhere in here, and so when I took a trade long, I had to close the short. So it'll be something like this. This 630, so I wouldn't have taken that. Oh yeah, it was this. It was like a weak extreme reversal. Okay, it was a weak extreme reversal. I thought it was a weak extreme reversal. I took the trade. Yeah, around there. I think I got it on pullback. Well, let's just call it. I took a trade here and took a small profit on the short and switched long and lost that. Looking back at my system, it was not a good trade. I shouldn't have taken it, and there you go. I lost that trade. Then moving on, the next trade I took was, so this one closed up there. Next trade I took, there was no trade on this big move. I wondered why. My system normally gives me a trade at the extremes. As you see, that's all I mark. So we had up, went up, that's a trend. Pulled back down, broke this trend. I'll put it as purple. Normally I didn't put it this time, but whatever. Put it as purple. Then we went down here, pulled back up, and then went down. So now a downtrend really has formed. We started going back up. This means it's the month extreme. I'm not going to delete my drawings, but I'm just going to explain the trades I took. This means it's the month extreme, so obviously that means this low made a new high on the month. And the month extreme, so it pulled back deep enough for the month. Unfortunately, there was no trade here for me. We ended up breaking up there, pulling back. There was no, oh, there was a trade up here. We ended up testing the high here, and so we got a 4 hour breakout there. And 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I took a trade down here, risking up here, looking for price to go much lower. And then we ended up getting this trade right here on the breakout of this candle, call it LVI. That's my setup. That volume, that candle has more volume than the 730 candle. That's an anomaly. So I take the breakout of that candle, and boom. I think I got this. I got one. I now I take first profit at 1 to 1, given that we're testing up here, which is the high. I was where to my first profit, and then I was looking for my second profit. This is Wednesday now. Okay, so this is Wednesday. I give my second profit. Oh, yeah, I think I got both. Yeah, I got 1.5. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Give my second profit. That took profit there. And where's the next one? I had a bunch of move on Thursday. There was no shorts here, unfortunately, but we continued. I missed. Well, I didn't miss. I should have taken it long here. It didn't happen. Kind of sad, to be honest with you. Then we broke up. We broke up. Did I take a trade here? No, no, I did not. We broke up. Did I get a short here? One. Oh yes, 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 yes. I did get a short here. This was a volume engulfing. Took the short basically on the breakout of this low actually right here. Took a short right there, risking up there. And once again, I made a blunder by closing my trade here on this blue candle and getting in a long because I thought there was a setup right here on the breakout of this black candle. I got in a long there and that lost and the short worked, and that was that. And then the next trade was, so now we were still on an uptrend. We ended up breaking the uptrend right there, so we started on a downtrend and we held. So now we're on Friday. That was Thursday. We're on Friday. My last trade was basically price had now uh there was no real break. See, we had a pullback here, we had a push down, but there was no real breakout. If you look at the 5 minutes, which is where I get my structure from, we had a pullback. For me, if this we have a close below this low, that means that means it is a breakout of that candle. I need two. If it's just one close, it's called a weak extreme reversal for me. I'll take the trade depending on what set of forms. For the reversal of that trend, which is what happened here. We had one close. If it was two closes, it would be complete. So fine, we have one close. Cool. Then we pulled back. We haven't got any setups. I didn't take any longs. Well, we pulled back and then we pulled back down. But now we did not close below this low. We actually just closed above it, and again, so once we wick the low, it's extended the low because we not close. Now looking for a close below that wick, we still didn't get that. Close below that wick, we didn't get that, and so that whole low just extended to this new low that pulled up. And this became a low now because it broke that high. So it pulled up, broke that high, and it became a low, and so we're still on that weak extreme reversal, And the weak extreme reversal only formed because we broke out to the upside on this day. I believe we broke this candle right there, boom. And then I got in on the pullback. No, sorry. We broke the 4 hour setup. So it was a 4 hour, given that it was a test of the low, the weak extreme reversal test of low. I took the breakout of the 4 hour candle right there. That was the setup, but because the breakout was pretty high, I got in on the pullback. My entry was somewhere here. Basically, I used the fib looking for 0.32382. Like, yeah, basically exactly, almost exactly. Anyways, there. That was where my entry was. I was risking around the low break of this low, and first again 1 to 1 because we're testing that high. I took my profit at 1 to 1, took one off. I was looking for a second one for 2 to 1. But normally I would add back when we pull back, but I didn't add back this time because it's weird. It's weird. It felt weird to me. And today was Friday. We had this red candle as well, bearish candle with engulfing the prior candles, and it was also testing that high. It's just, oh my word! Wait, I think I just realized something. There is a setup there. High of 469.25, high of close of 469.75. Okay, so this is a weak extreme reversal. That doesn't work. It doesn't work because high of 469.25, close of 469.7. Yeah, it's a weak extreme reversal. I wouldn't take it because it of the view app. Now this is where the view app comes into play. It comes into play in other places, but it wasn't useful upon, well, it wasn't useful to mention about this trade. In order for me to take a weak extreme reversal, which is technically an OER setup, basically means reversing the trend from the highest point of the trend or lowest point of the trend. So to take this trade, I would need price to be above the view app. But also because the month is in an uptrend, I would need price to be testing the month high or be at the month high in order to take an OER setup, which is again, like I said, the reversal of the week's trend from the highest point or the lowest point of the week. That's an OER setup. Well, from the highest point or lowest point of the week's trend. So the week's trend to me is this, this, and so if it breaks this, this is now the new week's trend. So this becomes the highest point of the new week's trend. And it did break it, but again, he only broke it by one candle, so it's an WER setup, and it's at the highest point of the new week's trend. It's a valid OER setup if it was also valid relative to the view app and the month, but it wasn't, so I couldn't take a trade. And well, regardless, like I said, I would have re-entered that order that I closed for 1 to 1, but I didn't because again I felt weird about this trade. I'd already taken profit. It was Friday. There's the whole Iran news that has been basically crazy for some reason. Market has just been going up due to the news, and it's just been very sad because I had a couple of short setups that failed during that couple of weeks, but I also had a couple of long setups that made money. Anyways, I chose not to take this trade, and we ended up closing all the way down there, and that's the end of the week. Ended up closing all the way down here, and I should have I should have added and just taken my loss if we lose. We haven't lost yet. Market is closed. I don't know what market is going to open at tomorrow at 4 p.m. I don't know where it's going to open. It may gap down and I lose. I would only lose less than what I'm supposed to lose. Or it may gap up and continue. In that case, honestly, if it comes back up here, I should probably just get in the trade. If it doesn't, good for me. If it does come up here and then still loses, then I lose what I'm supposed to. Otherwise, if it just gaps up and continues up, then I would make less than I'm supposed to. So, anyways, there's always There's always the pros and cons of any decision you take with the market, and it's always evident in your in your P&L. That's just what it is. That is all of my trades for the week. I'll see you again next weekend. Enjoy yourself. Have a great rest of your life.